So welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany, and today I'm going to really dive into the decision paralysis when it comes to leaving the US, some of the fears when it comes to losing your sense of identity and losing your sense of home, and especially losing your income, because oftentimes people tie their identity to how they make money, and when it comes to leaving the US, you're recreating your identity from the ground up, which includes how you make money, the environment that you're surrounded with, the culture that you're surrounded with, and oftentimes that becomes a block, a limitation to people who want to leave the US, right? So I want to dive into some of those things and maybe how you can get around them if you are considering it, because the truth is that it's just a great opportunity to move past those limitations and show yourself that you are completely capable of making this move, because you learn so much about yourself, you learn so much about what you're capable of, and I 1,000% recommend it, especially given what's going on. I do want to treat this video with an appropriate amount of respect as to what is going on in the world and how that can be a driving force to you wanting to leave the US. If I still decide to do it, I might have included a little clip of some of the things that you might be seeing, in the media, and how that might feel in your body, and also how that adds to you being in conflict internally about the move, because you're seeing, okay, all of this is going on in the world. I've been wanting to leave the US. Is it a good time to do so? Can I actually make it happen? Is it risky to do it now? All of these questions, and I mean, it's completely fair to think about these things. The truth is, you are not crazy for wanting to leave. You're not unpatriotic. You're not abandoning the ship. It's completely understandable. This video in particular is for those of you that have your hand on the door and you are this close, but you are hitting that roadblock. And that limitation that I often find in clients is the fear of losing yourself. Right? You hit this roadblock and you think, oh, the whole thing is just really overwhelming. What that is the fear of losing your sense of identity, money, income, culture, who you are. And I'm here to tell you that not only can you make this happen, you can actually thrive. And take me as an example, but I've met so many people who came here to Mexico or who moved to other parts of the world with $5,000, $10,000, and they have been doing it for 8 years, 10 years, 11 years, and so on. So today we're gonna look at 3 things: income, identity, and home, and how you can look at those things as a way forward and something to reimagine and not as obstacles, right? Income is something that, especially in this job market, it's remote work or finding alternative ways to make income is not just a temporary thing. This is something you're going to have to do. So no matter where in the world you are, even if you stay where you are, it's something that you're gonna have to consider anyway. So I'm really gonna dive into how those things can be reimagined, and I am hoping, actually I know, that you're going to have a new perspective in your ability to leave the US. So what's really going on is not just about money, it's about competence. Your ability to make money is a part of your identity. And risking it feels like an attack or a complete breakdown of who you are. And the fear of that financial failure is really an opportunity for you to learn how you can make income no matter where you are. Really the fear of discovering that you are not as capable as you think you are. But that's a lie. So one of the first reframes are that remote work or learning how to make income in a number of different ways is not just something that's temporary. It is something that is going to be the way forward no matter where you are. And the truth is that countries and companies around the world are competing for people with very specific skill set. Even when we look back to 1930s Germany, when the intellectuals, professors, teachers, artists, they were leaving Germany and their skills were proven very useful in many other parts of the world, and the same for professionals within the US. But the great opportunity here the reframe. So the great reframe here is that you can discover that you are more than just your current job. There are really so many jobs, and that's really what I talk about in my exit planning sessions with my clients, as well as in the community. People have been doing one particular thing for so long, they don't recognize that they could either work contract, do fractional work, potentially even sell their skills online. There's just a number of ways, even house sitting for 6 months. There's just a number of ways and opportunities for you to make income while you're living abroad. So one of the reframes that you can make here when it comes to income and your fear of losing income or not having consistent income abroad is understanding that it's not just about your job, and it's not just about your career or what it is that you're currently doing and what it is that you have done. It's about your skill set. How can you frame the skills that you have built so far into a completely new career? Because the truth is, many of the jobs that are available now weren't available 5 years ago, and the jobs that are going to be available in 5 years are not the same jobs that are available today. And that means that you constantly have to be shifting, and the better you get at shifting now, then the more likely it is that you are going to be able to make money in the future job market, which is an important skill to learn and develop anyway. The world is full of people and companies and communities that need your skills. No matter what happens as the world changes, it's something that is going to be required, and people will pay money for services that they need. So that is something that never changes, and I think that it's an important reframe when you are thinking about income and living abroad, because that will remove many of your fears of not having stable income. Because leaving the US is something that you deserve. It's something you've been thinking about. That's why you clicked on this video. So if you can see your skills as something that's outside of a 9 to 5 or outside of a specific job posting that you apply to, then you're in the best position. So we talked about income, we talked about identity. Identity is also wrapped into the location that you are in. You think, okay, if I leave the US, if I move somewhere else, then what is my sense of identity? How do I define myself? Do I define it based on the things that I do and what I like? And honestly, I think this is more of an opportunity. I mean, I know that it's more of an opportunity. Once you give yourself the opportunity to live in a completely new environment, you teach yourself that your identity isn't based in your job, it's not based in your location, it's not based in the people around you. You can expand into a completely new version of yourself, which is what I really, really care about at the end of the day. This is why I do what I do, because outside of being a career coach and helping people land remote work and helping people find alternatives for income, this whole shift that's happening right now in the world comes down to, are you brave enough to explore your own inner experience and say, actually, I didn't even like what I've been doing for the past 10 years anyway. You might as well do something you enjoy, or you might as well give yourself the space in your life to figure out what it is that you enjoy. For example, I've worked with clients who've worked as an accountant for, and I hope it's okay that I'm saying this, but I've worked with clients who's worked in accounting or in finance, because that's where I spend a lot of my career coaching is with business clients. But they worked in accounting for 10 years or so, and then they realize, you know what, I actually just want to try working with data, or just like doing some boring job that they could do remotely that doesn't require as much of their energy, or they don't have to focus on moving up through their careers. The thing that happens is that they are able to have way more time and energy to explore what it is that they actually enjoy, and then perhaps make a shift. So I do what I do, not just to help people make more money or live more comfortably, is to give them the opportunity to really get to know who they are. And there is no bigger challenge to your identity than picking yourself up from where you have been, whether it's your job or your town, your city, your state, your country, and putting yourself somewhere else where you have to look inward and you have to learn, okay, actually, you know what? I don't want to do this. I want to do this. And once you figure that out, the income part, the rest will work itself out. I promise you. It's not just a matter of just making it work. It's a matter of thriving. And right now, I fully believe in the collective unconscious, or collectively, I believe that we desperately need ourselves, we need each other to go within, to figure out what it is that we want and how we want to contribute our skills. Because it's not just about your job title, it's about what skills, what aspect of yourself do you want to contribute, what aspects of yourself do you want to explore. And that's really what it's all about. And leaving the US, leaving your environment, leaving what is comfortable and what is exhausting you, is what's going to give you the opportunity to explore those things about yourself. So for those of you that have your hand on the door and you're ready to walk out, you're ready to take the next step, I mean, that is getting through those fears, the fear of losing your identity, the fear of it not working out, the fear of losing your income. Those are all a part of the journey, and that is why I have a community, a coaching community focused on remote work, and it's just such a beautiful space to learn more about yourself through this journey. You owe yourself the opportunity to see how this will work out for you, because you don't want to wake up in 5 or 10 years and wish that you had made the change now, because it's a huge hill to overcome. But once you're overcoming it, you realize, like, I'm so happy that I'm doing this. I'm so happy that I did this. Sometimes the only way to save yourself is to trust that you can rebuild your identity. You can define yourself from anywhere else at any point, and that you are completely capable of doing that. So if you are interested and you are ready, maybe you don't know where to go, I do have a free country quiz. I will include it in the description below. And I also have an exit planning session. But for those of you that are really ready and want that container and the support and the accountability, join the Remote Work Tribe. I promise you, you are not going to regret it. It's going to be the way that you get through. So if you're looking for more comprehensive support, from resume reviews to portfolio reviews, workshops on budgeting, timeline planning, access to resources on niche remote job boards, visa applications, access to visa specialists, as well as I am going to be looking into putting more information about how to house sit, because it's a great introduction. For example, if you want to leave the US for 6 months or a year, put all your things in storage, it's a great way to put your toe in the water. I forget what the saying is. It's a great way to just test out whether or not this is something that you can do, and you're going to prove to yourself you can do it. But it's kind of like move abroad light, if you will. So I'll be uploading some information within the community about house sitting and so we can work on finding you remote income, and then also getting you to house sit, so that way you can make money and you can have a place to live. That's all.